welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I am analyzing one of the games that my subscriber sent to me. My subscriber is playing black and is rated 189, as you can see here, and the opponent is rated 200. So judging by the rating, you can probably figure out how top quality or what the game is gonna look like, and it was pretty funny, so I thought I'd make a video on it. Yeah, let's get started. Alright, the opponent of my subscriber plays the move E4, very popular at all levels, control the center, very principled, best move of the game. And then we get E5 by my subscriber. And then immediately we get D3. Now, this is a book move apparently, because here it says it's the Leonardus variation, but generally this isn't, like, it doesn't lose any material, so it's good. Like, you're not like going bishop a6 and like losing a bishop right away or something, so like it's good for a beginner. But generally when you go d3, you're just blocking your own bishop off, so you shouldn't be doing this. You should first develop your bishop out, and then you should play d3 so you get this one out. But it's fine, you're not like hanging material or anything, so it's fine. And my subscriber plays knight f6, very principled, just developing pieces, controlling the center, good stuff. Knight f3, and d6. Again, my subscriber is just like, okay, let me just copy my opponent because I'm not sure what else to do. Again, you should probably be thinking about defending this pawn first, and then you can like bring the bishop out. Whoops, that's not how bishops move. Bring the bishop out and then go d6, but it's fine. Not a terrible move. Just copying the opponent. Bishop g5, great move, developing a piece and pinning the knight, and then my subscriber just copies it, because why not? Knight c3, knight c6, just normal developing. We get knight d5 to put pressure here. Now, in this position, what you should play is like bishop e7 and defend like this. If takes, you just take back with the queen and you're completely fine. And if takes here, then you just take with the bishop, and this is also completely fine. And you can start putting pressure of your own on this knight over here. Instead, my subscriber plays the move knight takes d5. Yeah, not a great move considering this queen is just hanging right now. I guess they were like, okay, my opponent pinned my knight, I'm gonna pin their knight. Oh, developing, I'm gonna develop. Now I just forget about the pin that happened like 2 moves ago. Yeah, okay, well, it's 200 rated chess, so I mean, what do you expect? Alright, let's keep going. So, the opponent doesn't take the queen, and instead they take the knight on d5 instead. In this position, you actually can take this bishop, because even though it looks like this knight can take back, if they do take, then you get your queen, you get their queen as well, and this would just be equal. It's a bishop, knight, and a queen for a bishop, knight, and a queen, and apparently Stockfish likes this for black because there's like knight b4, which is a fork, and you know, the game goes on. But that's not what we get. And my sub here plays knight d4, once again hanging the queen, and here the opponent actually spots it and does in fact take the queen. And then my sub takes back with the rook, which is the best move. And then the opponent decides to hang a queen of their own. Okay, we've had 3 hanging queens this game. 1, 2, and 3. It can't get a lot better than that. I hope you're enjoying this so far. Yeah, so obviously you should take the queen here, and then after the rook or the king takes back, you take the knight, and material is even. Not to mention that there are 4 pawns in this column, which is kind of insane. But material is even and the game goes on. Instead, my subscriber plays bishop e7 and completely loses the bishop and doesn't take the free queen. But they don't play that. They instead play knight b5 to, I don't know, attack the pawns, I guess. And now this is actually Look, it goes from +7 to +4. So even though you hang the queen, now you lose the bishop. And then, yeah, there's no more knight to take, so you're just down 3 points of material, which is why Stockfish still doesn't like the position. But luckily, he's not losing as much, and my sub does find the free queen. And then the king takes back for some reason. I'm not sure why that's the best move. Like, why not take with the rook and, like, activate the rook? Anyway, and then we get castles. And I mean, your pawns are hanging and you can't really defend them anyway, so it's fine. Castling is a pretty good move. Knight takes a7. Apparently, this is an inaccuracy because there is c6, d takes c6, b takes c6, knight takes c6, and then rook c8 or something. I have no idea. I don't know how this works. That just loses a rook, no? You have to go rook d7? I mean, this is still like completely losing, but Stockfish apparently likes that. So it's an inaccuracy. My subscriber plays bishop g5, you know, preventing the opponent from castling, which they can't do anyway, but it also develops the bishop, which is fine. And then we get knight b5 to attack this pawn, and now c6 to defend it, and knight c7. Now, Stockfish says this is a mistake, and it is a mistake, but only if you find two moves in the position. And those two moves are rook d7 and rook c8 that both attack the knight. Because after this, the knight is literally trapped, right? The pawn controls this, the pawn controls this. The pawn is here so the knight can't move there. And this is controlled, and this is controlled, and this is controlled. So the knight is literally trapped right now. Or you could do rook c8, which does the exact same thing. But my sub doesn't find that, and instead takes this pawn, which is not bad. I mean, if you can't trap a knight, at least, like, take a pawn, right? And then we get takes back, and then h6. Okay, creating some breathing room for the king. Alright, that's fine. G4. I'm not really sure what G4 does. Maybe the opponent wants to develop a bishop, but I mean, you can just go here and develop it like that, right? Like, why do you need to go g4? Not really too sure, but okay, it doesn't hang any material. It's not like you're, I don't know, going here and hanging a knight, so it's fine. And then we get king h8. Whoops, I accidentally skipped ahead. Alright, this is where we were. I apologize for skipping ahead. I accidentally clicked the down arrow, which made it go all the way to the end. So in this position, we get king to h8. I guess just like a waiting move because my subscriber doesn't know what to do. I mean, there are a couple options in this position. You could like go bishop h4, try to attack this. Maybe you can develop this rook, but okay, king h8, not like the worst move in the position. Whereas the worst move would be, how do you hang maybe like hanging a bishop would be the worst move. I have no idea. Anyways, after king h8, we get h4 attacking the bishop. The bishop moves, and now you can trade the bishop like this. And now my sub has doubled pawns, and you are up a bishop and a pawn. So this is winning. But okay, they don't take it. They go b4. I mean, that's fine. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing, right? King back to g8 because let's just shuffle some pieces around because we don't know what to do. That's fine. Okay. I'm not gonna comment on that. b5. Rook goes to b8. Now, I'm a little concerned about this move because the rook here, like, it doesn't do anything. If you put it on c8, you're gonna get forked, actually, so this is bad. But, like what I would do is just, like, control this e7 square and then go here. Because this is an open file, and you can actually bring your rook, like, here, for example, and win this pawn, because the knight has to move and you take the pawn. But when the rook is on b8 like this, it's just defending its own pawn, but you don't need that to be defended. Like, there's no point in going there, right? So that's what I would do. I would defend the e7 square like this and then go rook c8. So rook b8. Let's continue with the game, and then we get knight c7. And then we attack the knight with the rook. And the random player here just completely forgets about the knight. Like, I mean, you just move the knight there, right? Like, if it's gonna get attacked, you might as well move it. Okay, no. And my subscriber takes it. So now my sub is actually only down one pawn here. It's this pawn, I believe. Right? No, it's both of these pawns for this pawn. So it's 2 for 1. So it's only down a pawn, so you can very well come back from this because, I mean, you're 200. So, yeah. A5, rook A8. Now, rook A8 is a mistake because of one move, and only one move, that Stockfish finds. Pause the video if you want to try and find it. And if you don't want to try and find it, or you just did, the move is bishop to g2. And the point is, you are pinning the pawn to the rook. And basically, you're going to go a6 with your pawn. And then you can't take because then you lose the rook, right? Because it's pinned. And then you're going to take it and you're going to get a passed pawn. And you can't take because it's defended by the bishop. So that is the point. And you can do nothing to stop it. Like you can go rook d7 here. And then d5 is the best move. And then you just like take here. And then you lose a rook. Just kidding, that didn't happen. So, yeah. Anyway, a6. To a draw, or close to a draw. +1 is like nothing when you're less than like 900 rated. And then my sub plays d5, which is the best move. b6. Now b6 is a mistake because rook c6, and this wins a pawn through a skewer. This pawn can't move actually. And if you want to take here, then that's a blunder because you lose your rook. And then after a king moves, it's almost mate, by the way, because the bishop controls some squares here, but not quite, because king e2. And now you just take this pawn and you stop it from promoting, and you're up a rook, so you're gonna win. But that didn't happen in the game, but something very similar happened in the game. Rook c to c8, which is a miss because now a7 is a protected pass pawn, and your rook is just stuck. It's literally stuck. It can't move. You can't take this. It's protected. And you can't go here because they're going to queen. So the rook is literally stuck. And even if you want to make it unstuck, I know they do some random move and you like go here, they can just like go here and start causing problems immediately. And they can't promote right now. But if you like move your rook or something, then that's game over. Right? So that is kind of the problem here. The opponent doesn't quite find that, and instead plays the amazing A takes B7, completely sacrificing the A1 rook for free, and my subscriber finds it. So now my sub went from being down plus 2.7 in one move to being minus 4.8, or minus 4.9, whatever. This is crazy stuff. Like, right, like I told you, it's 200 rated game, like some stuff is gonna happen. King e2 is the only move. It's forced. That's what this thing over here means. Rook b8. Great. Take the pawn. Bishop g2. Now here, like you're up 3 points of material, just simplify. Just take it, and then take. And if the bishop takes this, like, nobody cares. Just take, right? And now all you gotta do is just hunt down the pawns and then promote your own pawn and then win. That's how you win these types of endgames, where you're just completely dominating. My subscriber doesn't do that. They go rook a2, which is still fine. I mean, like, if you go here and you, like, hang a rook or something, I'm gonna be upset. But rook a2 is not a horrible move. You're completely fine here. You're attacking this pawn. You know, you're fine. Bishop takes d5, grabs a free pawn, attacks the rook, very logical. Rook takes c2 is a free pawn. The king moves, and now you also have rook c1. King moves, and then takes, and this is also completely winning because you simplify. This does happen, rook c1, king g2, but again, for the second time, my subscriber declines the rook and instead plays rook c3. Again, like, it's completely fine. Now there's bishop e4 to defend this pawn and defend this pawn. By the way, I was watching this game live and I was like, I know that person's gonna play bishop c4 and hang this pawn, right? Because like bishop e4 defends both. But bishop c4 just hangs this one. And, I mean, this is 200. The rating here is literally 200, right? So, not ironically, they played g5, which, hangs this pawn, and then after the bishop moves, also hangs this one. We get h takes g5, h takes g5, bishop takes g5. For some reason, these last moves are all inaccuracies. Like, literally. Look at this. Rook c3, inaccuracy. g5, inaccuracy. I mean, that's an inaccuracy because you hang a pawn. But I don't know why taking this is inaccurate. Like, what's wrong with taking it? Just taking a free pawn. That's also inaccurate. This is also inaccurate. The next move, rook h5. That's also inaccurate. That's like 7 inaccuracies in a row or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 inaccuracies in a row. Pretty wild. But only Stockfish can understand why. Bishop f4, just moving the rook out of the way. We're still up a rook here, right? We're just up a rook for a pawn, completely winning. Now the opponent goes d4, and in this position, you can take a free pawn. You can attack a rook. You can also blunder a rook by going here. And there's a lot more other options. Or, instead of blundering a rook through a tactic that may be a bit hard to see, you can also blunder a rook for absolutely no reason and completely free. That is a completely free rook. Like, there's nothing. It's not a sacrifice. Nope. That move just hangs the rook. I don't know what my sub was thinking there. Maybe they thought that pawns capture forwards? Like, it's crazy. Like, how do these low-rated people come up with these moves? I don't even know. And the random player does, in fact, find the free rook, and now the game goes downhill from here. It's not good. The bishop is attacked, so what do? You take the free pawn and lose the bishop. Okay, fair enough. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? Again, king f8 looks very natural, so you can get the king over here, but this just loses a rook through a skewer, and now it's actually mate in 6. But luckily, my subscriber doesn't lose that quickly. They go d3, trying to promote. The rook slides back to defend it, d2, and now the pawn is gone. Rook back to b8. Controlling the promotion square. f5. g6, trying to trade pawns, except it doesn't work because when they take, which is what they did, you can't take the pawn because it's pinned to the king. That was very bad luck there. But yeah, it's just how it was. I haven't really talked about the time situation either, but this was a 10-minute game. It was a 10-minute game. 9:58, 9:58. And where we are right now, which is all the way over here, my subscriber had 53 seconds and the opponent had 4 minutes and 31 seconds. So my subscriber spent 10 seconds on this move. Actually, there may have even been increments, so maybe more. Wait, let me check. There's 5-second increments, so they spent 15 seconds on this move. And they don't see that after takes, you can't take back, which is kind of sad. But anyway, back to the game. King to g7. They take it. King goes to f8, and now it's mate in 7 apparently. Rook c2, and I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe it was a mouse slip, but rook a8. They take with queen, and my subscriber resigned. That was crazy. Like, at first, it looked like a normal opening with like no hanging pieces. And then the knight just hopped in and we lost a queen. The opponent didn't see it. My sub didn't see it. The queen was taken. Another queen was lost. It wasn't seen. It wasn't seen again. How many hanging queens are there in this game? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 hanging queens in this game. And then we had a game where they were just up a knight, and then they were completely winning. And then some random moves happened. And then they just hang a knight for free. Now they're only up a pawn. And then they lose the rook. And then now my subscriber is completely winning. And then we get some trades here. And they decline some trades. And then they hang a rook for absolutely no reason. And then things go downhill, and after that, there's basically no more hope. That was a crazy game. That was actually crazy. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments how it was. Good game to both players. Very, very high respect to this kind of chess, because it is because of these kind of players that we can all laugh and we can all experience this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments how it was. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, like and subscribe.